first rule of Flight Club is you don't talk about Flight Club. Pilotwings was a launch title for the Super Nintendo, or Super Famicom, as it was known in Japan. I guess most people would have first come across it in the UK via the pages of magazines like Computer and Video Games that quite often like to review imported games that no normal person could possibly afford. But it was always quite good to see the colour and excitement of some of these games that you're never going to get to play for many, many years. Pilotwings is essentially a flight simulation, or an arcade flight simulation, and as you can see here, join the Flight Club now. Do you ever dream of flying? The Flight Club offers a variety of aerial sports to thrill and challenge you. And there's several levels to the game. You have to earn a license for each level. There's flying and parachuting and jetpacks and hang gliding and all sorts of other things as well. So this is our first instructor, Tony, who will be instructing us in Area 1, and this is the basics that we're going to be covering of flying an airplane and skydiving. Great soundtrack throughout the game, slightly laid back, easy listening, but it suits the game quite well, almost descends into kind of lift music. And we've got the instructions here for this level, just to show the controls there, and the scoring as well. So this is how we're going to score on this level. We need to score a certain amount of points to pass. So here we go. Just flying the plane. I'm going to hit all those green dots and then land the plane in one piece. And this is very striking graphics. When I first saw this in a magazine, I thought, wow, look how many colours there are there. And you had no impression of movement in the magazine, just what this thing looked like. And it looked like a full 3D flight simulation, although of course it's entirely 2D and in mode 7. There's no real scenery that stands upright, and anything that does is actually just painted on the ground to make it look like it's standing upright from when you're high up. So we've landed there, so hopefully we get a good score there. So it's essentially just 2D, so let's see what this score is, that what Tony's going to award me. Oh, I've nearly got full points there. He's quite surprised. So I need 25 points to qualify, so I don't even need to do very well at the skydiving here. I'm going to give this a go. Between the levels there, you get those graphics that zoom up, and that looks a little bit tacky now, a little bit blocky. I'll just skip there forward to the jumping stage. I've got to go through all these hoops, all these rings as I go down. Let's try and get through that one. No. I haven't played this for ages, so I'm very out of practice. Going to get through that one. Right, yes. Now, I only need 25 points, so basically all I really need to do is land now, and I should be able to do it. The moving platform there that you can see here gets you the most points, and then it's a question of, if you're not going to be brave enough to land on that, to land in the scoring area in the middle of that square that you can't quite see at the moment. Release the parachute, and you can just see the rings there of the landing area, and I just need to get in there. Just a question of circling around. This isn't as easy as it... Well, I'm not making it look easy. I'm making a right hash of this. It is a game where practice does make perfect. Nice soundtrack to accompany us, some wind noises. Am I going to get in there, get 70 points? Oh no, it's gone a bit wrong. I should just have enough points there. He's probably going to say bad things about me. Yeah, he looks a bit annoyed. If you keep flaring, you'll stall. But hey ho, Tony, I've passed anyway. And he's pleased with me again, so I've got congratulations. I'm now certified. And as you progress through the levels, you can note down that number there, and you can go back to that any time. So you can start on level 3 once you've passed level 3. So lesson 2, this is Shirley. No one under the age of 90 is called Shirley. So it's a bit odd that the Japanese picked that name for the UK translation. We're going to feature the rocket belt on this level. So we're going to have more flying of a plane, more skydiving, and the rocket belt as well. So we're going to go through 3 rings to land the plane. So we start off here. I guess we're going to have to go left and right to go through the rings. Through ring 1 there, just varying the speed slightly. A little bit twitchy. Best played, I find, on an original Nintendo joypad. That's my preference. It might look like the greenery down there is got a lot of noise on it, but in actual fact that's the Mode 7 scaling going on there. It's supposed to be texturing the grass, but it's just looking like a very noisy video compression thing there. Down we come, we're going to land. Oh! She's not going to be pleased with me. She's gonna be really annoyed. I'm sorry, Shirley. No. Oh, no. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to crash the plane. Keep the nose up in the air, not rubbing on the ground. A very incisive tip there from Shirley. Still got 30 points for my perfect ring work there. It seems very hard, but don't give up. I'm going to try that again. We can go back to flight area 1 if we want to at this stage, once you've got the code to go on to level 2, level 3, level 4, etc. So let's give that another go. So, going to go through the ring there. And I apologise if there's a little bit of interlacing artifacting going on the plane there. It is something that seems to happen with the capture on the SNES on this game. On a CRT it looks perfectly stable, but on an LCD or via this capture you get that slight line artifacting on the plane. Alright, so I've done that, and down we come again. Just need to get this right. It's a question of just getting the speed right and coming down gently. You don't need to put the undercarriage down. You just need to land it. It's a biplane, so there is no undercarriage. Here we go. Brake. Lovely stuff. She's got to be pleased with me this time. I did well. Well, that's 72 points out of 100 is not too bad. Keep up the work. Good work. You can do it. Right, skydiving now. I've got to go through 5 of it. Oh, I'm no good at skydiving. I've never really seen skydiving where you jump off a ladder. And perhaps that's just me not knowing much about skydiving. I don't know. This must be one of the only skydiving simulators that I can think of, to be honest. I had a typing game on the Amstrad where you had to land on a flag, and it was completely 2D, being a typing game, obviously. But I can't think of any other skydiving games off the top of my head. This is going horribly wrong there. She's going to really, really be cross with me. Well, at least I can try and get this on target. So press A to open. Here we come. Oh, now my rate of descent is too great. You press forward and back to somehow vary the speed and where you're going. It's a little bit confusing. I think that's what they talk about when they're talking about flaring. Might be helpful if I'd actually got the full box for this game, but I've only got the cartridge. Right, can we get this in the middle? Might be able to recover this and get onto level 3 if I can just get that 70 points in the middle. Just circle round. Just circle round there. Yeah, come on, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Oh, that... No. Well, I can still do it. Oh no, I can't do it. I need 105 points. I can only get 100 points from the next thing. Well, never mind. Let's try the rocket belt anyway. How badly can that go? So the rocket belt's a little bit different because it's something you wouldn't be able to do in real life, unlike skydiving or flying a plane. You have to use the rocket belt, which you can control the thrusters on to go up, down, forward and back and go through the rings. It's a little bit tricky because, remember, this game looks 3D, but it's completely 2D. So the circles don't always appear, and it's very difficult to explain, but you can be at them from certain angles like there and you think you've gone through it and you haven't, because it's all completely fake in terms of the 3D. So let's try and get through there. Right, that's ring past. There's another one over here which just appears as a dot at the moment until we get closer to it, which again is a little bit annoying because you've got to keep an eye out for these little dots. Only got a certain amount of fuel to use, which is shown top right hand corner. There's a time limit on all the tasks as well, and you get more points for doing the tasks quickly. See, it's incredibly difficult to judge where the middle of that ring is because it's not real 3D, it's just this 2D representation. Right, through there, yeah, got it. Right, should be one more. Oh no, the land, right. So can I land this in the 70 point zone? So I should be scoring quite well on this. Right, let's get this lined up perfectly. Should be able to see a shadow. You can change the view to a top-down view if you want to by pressing the shoulder buttons on the joypad. Don't find that useful, to be honest. So where's my shadow? Where's my shadow? Oh, come on, 70 points. 70 points. But I've still got to do this quickly because it should take points off if I'm too slow. Oh, there's my shadow. Yay! Right, she's going to be happy with me. She's so happy, her eyes have gone a funny shape. Oh, thank you. She never expected me to do so well. Full points. Well, I'm not going to qualify, but I'm still quite pleased with myself. Oh, she's very sad because she can't certify me. But I can try again. Skydiving is one of the more difficult tasks. I'm going to end it now, and then we're just going to forward on to one of the later levels. Scaling being used for every opportunity, even the game over sign there, the mode 7. So I'm just going to type one of the passwords in. I found this online, so you can just skip forward to wherever you want to in the game if you haven't got that far. It's just a simple 6-number system which you enter in with the joypad. And this is Lance, who lives in a windmill, owns an emu, and is terrorised by a green woman. Or at least he looks like he does. So I'm going to be trying hang gliding. My memory of this says I'm not very good at hang gliding. So let's go straight to the hang gliding and see what this involves. It can't be that different from the plane. Although, alright, thermal currents. This, yeah, I remember this now. Right, so controls are fairly simple. Right, Rod, this is how, Lance. Let's give this a go. Right, there are thermals, but again, it's difficult to tell how far away they are. You're trying to reach the thermals and just see and use those to rise up, but where is it? It's not scaling with everything else. So it's incredibly difficult to find out or see where it is. It's just always seems to be a constant distance in front of you. It's getting a bit bigger now, but again, it comes back to this fake 3D thing. And Pilotwings just seems to fall down on these things where there are basically 2D sprites there that are supposed to represent 3D objects that don't scale properly, and you can't quite judge it. No, I'm not going to give up, Rod. I'm not giving up. You didn't give up when Grot Bags tried to steal your emu, and I'm not giving up on the hang glider. Let's give this another go. Right, I'm going up there. It's using the control to flare the hang glider. It's just... Is that thermal down by the island? Do I need to get down to the island and then rise up? But I can't even get as far. It seems to be dropping. I must be doing something wrong here. No, it's... Nope. Died horribly again. Let's try the plane task on this section. This should be a little bit easier. This is on the same island as we saw with the hang glider. And we've got to fly through all these different rings all the way around the island. So we're taking off. And I'm just going to go through this ring. So you see the first ring there. The second ring's still a dot there, and then it turns into a big green circle. And these circles work fine as long as you're always directly in front of them. If you start to get it wrong and have to loop round, that's when again you have the same problems as... Oh, can I make that one? Yes. Have the same problems as on the rocket belt level. There's no radar as well showing you where these are, so you're doing this from memory, that these things circle round the island. And going on to later levels, this is a snow level to land the plane. The runway has ice on it, so let's see if we can land this plane. And slowing down. No, I'm probably coming in too fast. No, I'm skidding across the runway. The problem with the icy runway is that it takes a lot longer to stop, so you've got to get that speed. That's a landing failure. I'd say it's a crash. Yeah, and the instructions repeat, so you go through them and then it comes back to the original ones that you had again. There's also bonus levels on this game. We fly a helicopter, and this is one of the levels. Our agent has infiltrated enemy headquarters on Izanu Island. Your instructors have been freed and await rescue at the heliport. In the first bonus level, your instructors are captured, and the second one, you have to go and free them, although frankly I'd leave them there personally. And what we've got is something that looks like Swiv. A game you might remember from the early 90s, the arcade and the home conversions. And you fly along, there's no, that I can see, enemy aircraft in the air, but there are various things that shoot you in the ground. It's just a question of getting the hang of these controls. And there's something suddenly much more conventional about this. It's just a standard helicopter shooter, really. Although still using the Mode 7 to rotate the screen, which is quite nice. And the enemy bullets just firing up from the ground, and you can bomb those emplacements which you're being fired at from. Quite a nice little extra bonus to the game. It's not something that most people are probably going to get as far as. This is the final level of the game, but fun nonetheless. As impressive as Pilotwings was when it originally hit Japan in 1990 and the UK in 1992, does it still stand up today? Well, the answer is yes. This is an absolutely fantastic game to play on your Super Nintendo. There's hours and hours of fun here. There's no other versions of it. There's a N64 version of it, which is an update. There's no other ports of this game to other systems. I can't even think of other games that are similar to this. Okay, they got a little bit of shooting in the bonus levels, but mainly it's a game of skill. Landing your plane, landing the hang glider, flying them around, doing the parachuting, doing the jet belt. At the time, it felt like a very fresh kind of game. The game that Nintendo would go to do lots more of. Games like Mario Kart and things like that. Games that were fun, accessible for everyone, and that were really well presented. Pilotwings was a really fun, impressive game at the time, and even all these years on, it remains an impressive and fun game today.